All right, so we got some really interesting material sent in by a listener about achieving excellence, and not just for people who are already, top of their game, but how anyone can kind of get there.
Yeah, it was fascinating stuff. And we wanted to spend this podcast digging into what it suggests really drives that kind of greatness.
Exactly. And the big idea right away, it kind of grabs you, is that it frames excellence not as just talent or luck, but as an actual art.
That's what really stood out. It pushes back against that common idea that, oh, you're either born with it or you stumble into it somehow.
Or there's some secret trick, right? Like a hidden key only few people have.
Right. But this perspective says, no, forget that. It's an art you cultivate.
Okay, so if it's an art, what's like the first step, the first brushstroke, according to this material?
It starts with step one, genuinely respecting the craft.
Respecting the craft. Right.
And it's not just a vague idea. It means really valuing the work itself. Like, are you actually focused on what you're doing right now?
Or are you multitasking, kind of half scrolling through your phone while you're supposed to be doing something else?
Exactly. That's the opposite of respect in this view. It's about acting like what you're doing truly matters.
Even the small things, like stuff no one else might even notice.
Especially then, and when no one's watching. That commitment, that focus, that's the respect.
Okay, I get that. So that deep respect for the process itself, where does that lead?
Well, it builds directly into step two, getting obsessed with the basics.
Ah, the fundamentals.
Yes, the material's really clear on this. The people who get truly great aren't always chasing the latest hack or the new shiny trick. They're the ones who've just relentlessly mastered the fundamentals.
Right, and the examples they use are pretty powerful here, aren't they? Like, Tiger Woods?
Yeah, think about that. Decades in, still practicing putting for hours. Hours.
The most basic thing in golf, arguably.
Or a top Michelin star chef, still meticulously sharpening their own knives. It's that constant return to the absolute core skills, seeing them as infinitely improvable.
Okay, and there was that story about the artist Hokusai.
Oh, yeah, Hokusai, the Japanese master. It's incredible. He apparently made over 30,000 artworks in his life.
30,000?
But the one everyone knows, the Great Wave. He painted that when he was 73.
73? That's amazing, after all that work.
Exactly. And the insight here is he spent his whole life, as the material puts it, chasing perfection in the shadows.
In the shadows, meaning?
Meaning he wasn't doing it for the applause necessarily. He was just working, constantly refining his basic skills line, composition, understanding waves, apparently for decades. That quiet, relentless focus on the basics is what made that masterpiece possible so late in his life.
Okay, that makes sense. Which I guess leads straight into the third step then.
It does perfectly. Step three is falling in love with the repetition.
Right. Which is kind of the opposite of what our culture often pushes, isn't it? Always wanting new results, instant gratification, likes.
Totally. But excellence, in this view, isn't about nailing it perfectly just once.
It's about doing it right, or trying to, again and again and again.
Even when you're tired, or bored, or when absolutely no one is watching or cares at that moment.
That persistence, that's the art. Doing it over and over, getting slightly better, when no one sees.
That's what transforms it, yeah. That quiet, consistent effort. It makes it more than just a skill. So if you kind of pull it all together, the real secret this material points to, it isn't some magic bullet.
It's not talent or knowing the right people.
Nope. It basically boils down to being the person who's willing to stick with the same thing, the same basic action, longer than most other people.
To refine it, improve it just a tiny bit, and then do it again tomorrow.
Exactly. Repeat.
So what about if you're listening to this and thinking, okay, but I'm not good at this thing yet?
Well, the material is a great reframe for that. It basically says, good, that just means you're early in the process.
It's not a final judgment. It's just where you are right now.
Right. It's like an encouragement, really. Keep going. Mastery isn't one giant leap. It's all those little steps, that consistent effort.
Keep painting your wave, basically.
Keep painting your wave. I like that.
So wrapping this up, what we've unpacked from this listener's material is that getting really good at something, achieving that excellence, it's not mystical. It seems to be about first really respecting the work itself, then getting kind of obsessed with nailing the fundamentals.
And finally, maybe the hardest part, learning to embrace that repetition, doing the work even when it's not exciting or seen.
Yeah, and the hopeful part is that's a process. That's something anyone can actually choose to do, right? It's not about waiting to be gifted.
Right. It puts the power back in your hands.
Which kind of leads to a final thought maybe for you listening. If the real art is in that quiet, unseen repetition and refinement, like Hokusai in the shadows, what's one everyday thing, maybe something small, even mundane, that you could commit to treating with that kind of respect and just quietly refining this week?